Greetings, my name is R.J. Adams. I'm a writer and a philosopher. I've made several videos of myself reading a journal out of a journal I've written and called Secrets of the Universe, a Philosopher's Journal. If you would like a copy of that, let me know. I will get a copy to you. Anyway, that's the printed copy part of the journal, the real one I've been writing in. And since I've had that printed out, I've written some little bit more in my journal I would like to read now. And so I will do that. And I did like in the journal at the beginning of it, I never actually said that. I'd seen a video where I found out that the word abracadabra is Aramaic, and it means what I speak is what I create. And I thought that was just some information that was interesting. And there's an old saying that I'm not sure exactly where it originated from, but it is true knowledge is knowing that we know nothing, which makes total sense. To know is smart, to understand is wisdom. And I've had to, let's see, I've got a whole list of different topics I'd like to talk about in other videos. I will hopefully do that one day. A lot of them I've already talked about in these videos, and now I will continue. I will read the part of the journal there's quite a bit. Okay. The idea that duality is a conflict between the spiritual and the physical is inaccurate. Duality is about both sides working together, not one against the other. Choosing to nurture one over the other will lead to imbalance. Yes, you are spiritual eternally, and we should embrace that, but do not neglect or ignore the physical in the process. Both must work together to achieve true enlightenment. As you tend to your spiritual healing, you must keep the body in shape as well. We have this idea of the ego, that the ego is what tells us or makes us believe that this is the only existence, the only reality, that nothing else matters. That ego is our self-importance. It makes us think we're bigger than everything else. And people tend to want to get rid of their ego or go against their ego. You can't do that. That's part of you. You have to include that within you. You are spirit, but while you are alive, you are also physical. That is why we came here, to experience this reality, to understand our spirituality, to find balance. Spirit is eternal, but physical is not. We need spirit to continue experiencing the physical. We are able to return to being physical as many times as it takes to bring ourselves into balance. Once we achieve balance and are ready, then we can achieve higher states of consciousness, and the source consciousness will be closer to understanding itself. Okay. Now, I find it ironic that when you have everything you ever wanted, the only new and exciting thing left is to die happy. If you spend your life accumulating money and material objects, you will lose what is actually important. What is important in your life? Ask yourself these 3 questions in this order. What do I need? What do I have? And what do I want? Now define what each question means to you. What is a need, and how does it differ from a want? A need is something you cannot live without, something that you will perish without. Every one of us should have pretty much the same answers for what we need. Air, food, shelter, water, not necessarily in that order. These are fundamental things we need as biological, physical beings in order to stay alive. Next, what do I have? Here, you should at least have what you need. Do you have air, food, shelter, and water? If yes, then what else do I have? Are the extra things in your life truly important to you? Or would you have the courage to detach yourself from them? What do you give unnecessary value to? Thirdly, what do I want? What are you working for? What are your ultimate goals? Do you truly know what you want? It may take years to finally find your true purpose in life, and some people may never find theirs, but only because they weren't truly looking or they gave value to the wrong things, setting impossible goals for themselves. Pursue your real dreams, not the fake ones you made in order to conform to please the world. Live your dreams, not everyone else's. What do you want? Once you free yourself from the and now, let's see. Now I think I just have a few passing thoughts. So, once you free yourself from the constraints of time, you will be open to new ideas and possibilities. And I talked about that in another video, how time is an illusion. Okay, here's another one. After you realize what you want, ask yourself a 4th question. Why? Why do I want what I do not have? Is it truly something worth granting value to? Will it change my life or the lives of others for the better? What are the reasons for your wants? And another thought. To see your true self, you must observe through the eyes of others. And talked about competition in another video. And here's a thought on that. In addition, competition breeds opposition and disconnection, which often leads to anger and hate towards opponents and others, even oneself. And now I have just a contemplation, and it's not about anything real, but about zombies. Just a thought. Are zombies technically still dead after they awaken? Do they continue to decompose, or is that halted or even reversed? If that is the case, then that would mean that they are technically alive again. Also, why don't they ever attack each other? Can they detect which bodies are still alive? I suppose it could be a scent thing, where they can smell who's dead and who's not. But either way, it would seem that some kind of brain activity is happening when you need brain activity to smell. But if the brain is dead, can basic cognizance be revived with it? Wouldn't the brain be one of the first things to decompose? What if the body is buried without a brain? How could a body with no brain or a rotted brain become undead? No brain, no zombie. I don't get it. Anyway, that's the end of that one. Just an interesting thought. Then, lastly, I came up with what I call the Response Contradiction Paradox. This has to do with if somebody went back in time. Discovered this paradox, although I'm sure someone else came up with it first. It probably has a different name too, but this is what I'm calling it, the Response Contradiction Paradox. Okay, say you go back in time to any period, doesn't matter. You find someone in the past and reveal to them that you are from the future, and you offer to answer one question about the future, and only one. And so they ask the question, and it doesn't matter what question. If you actually gave them a true answer, if I answered truthfully, how would my response affect the outcome? My response would determine whether my response becomes true or false. My response would contradict itself. That's the paradox. Like I said, I don't know. I'm sure it's been thought of before. But anyway, that's the end of that. But that's not the end of my thoughts, of course. It's the end of my journal. For now, I still write more in it, but I do have more stories and other things that I've written, and I will make videos of them, as well as other things I've got in mind that I want to do. So hopefully I can do something like that. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are good to each other, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. I hope you see you in another video. Bye-bye.